Alright, everyone, thank you for your patience. Just had to take one last thing while people who are going to watch filter in. Today, I could bring up the right thing. There we go. Welcome to the stream. There we go. I do this frequently. I know what I'm doing. No, but today I am actually working on a piece that is very specifically for our Monday group. Before I get into that, just very brief. If there's any adjustments I need to make at all throughout the stream, be they volume on my end or the background, let me know. I will not have the same perspective of sound as you. So let me know if I need to make any adjustments. I will have a second screen next to me that I can check the chat with. Make sure that you have a snack or drink if you're watching, especially if you're going to be arting alongside me. I am looking forward to having a little bit of fun. I can just figure out where this... Oh, that's fine. Where? Oh, it's on this side. That's on me. With that in mind, I think I'm ready to sort of explain the setup for what I'm working on. I'm going to show you the live scene now. So this piece is actually a moment from the last session that we had. So basically what the party's been doing for the last 6 months in real life, in real time, we have been in a tournament of the bards, battle of the bards, if you will, where there's half the party's on stage, half the party's in the pit, basically fighting, and through magic, different things can happen to the field. And this is the finale. They made it all the way to the finale, and this is what they've got. Now, here's the fun thing. We got all the way to the finale as part of an unrelated to this, but fun detail, I think, that I like to mention. Now, prior to this battle, waking up, our party asked for dreams, something that our DM specializes in. Asking for dreams is asking for nightmares, basically. Prophetic stuff, because we've had some nightmare and dream entities following us. Now, that being said, that means we had some interesting, upsetting dreams, because of the oath that the party has sworn on the river Styx. And this character, the one with the orange and black hair, has essentially had a nightmare of his partner dying, who is a lot less immortal than he is, basically, because he's a changeling, one of those changelings that sort of becomes a baby again and then grows up over and over and over again. And he was reminded, oh, my friends are all gonna die. My partner's gonna die way sooner than I want him to. So he had this wake-up call, and then in a round of combat, 2 of his friends went down in one fell swoop. And he, for a moment, forgot that it was a competition, that it was a game. They weren't actually dead. And charged onto the field, saying, I'm gonna M-word you. Basically. It was very interesting. Very charged moment, and that's what this moment is. And as soon as I realized I needed some new paint for today, this is what I started working on yesterday, because this is freaking glorious. So, we are going to start with the shading on this shirt. That is a floating harp, by the way. Our opponents are bards with a homebrewed subclass that can summon enchanted objects of sorts. It's complicated sort of homebrew. I don't really quite know how to explain it, so don't mind me if I am a little unsure of how to explain it. Alright, so we're gonna bring this 2. There we go. Now this, I am very pleased with the way that we roleplayed this moment because it was an intense sort of scene. Because the entire party actually had some funky stuff going on. And so we're playing again tonight, and I am absolutely looking forward to the feralness of like the strong emotions that are going to come out. Because we ended right after the battle ended. Right after it ended. Meaning no chance to really react, no chance to check in on people. Yeah. And fun fact, as part of a tradition that the party has set, we're gonna be going to dinner with we're gonna have a dinner with the opposing team later this afternoon, in game of course. And I don't know how well that's gonna work, given the state of most of the party members. Yeah, yeah, definitely looking forward to the drama of it though. I adore the drama of it. It's very much the role playing of it that was like glorious. That I think everyone really leaned into for that session, and it showed, and I am so excited to actually bite into the meat of that now that we're finally out of 13-person combat, if you will. It was genuinely kind of ridiculous how many, like, we were getting through one round of combat per session. So when on sessions when we were meant to when we were genuinely trying to win, yeah, those sessions, those battles would go on for upwards of 5-6 sessions, depending on how batshit our party was being. Because it's not for lack of trying. We did get pretty far based on our own wild abilities and antics that make no sense. To put it that way. But this took specifically like letting ourselves lose. Took a few rounds, I want to say. Took 2 or 3. And it's the last round of major combat that's going to take that long. In terms of like, we can't finish this in an hour. Which is what mostly we were having to deal with. Which is fine in that setting. But I am glad that we're sort of moving out of that era of game. Especially because now it does lean itself into the sort of setup that person or system who is playing in that game that he has set up sort of leans into the drama that he's sort of chosen to dive headfirst into, which interestingly enough, with this character, it was his first time playing D&D, so he has spent a lot of this campaign sort of figuring out the rules, not really leaning into the sort of story aspect of this. And it has been very interesting to see him sort of move beyond that point of like learning how the game works into I'm gonna cause some drama, and it's gonna be fun. It's a little bit the way I've put it to someone in our partner system who gets it. It's a little bit like watching a baby bird learn how to fly when you already know how to fly. Since I learned how to play D&D before he did. But it's just been fascinating. And I am on the edge of my seat, excited to like break down what happened after he has his date tonight. Yeah. Yeah. I am. I'm excited. So while he may not be my character, absolutely over the moon and ready for tonight. We actually had some life stress crop up at the end of the last session, so we do have to make sure that so we do have to sort of think about how we want to have him like sort of defuse from the combat and seeing like his friends okay. Um, but yeah, we're certainly gonna see. You're certainly going to see. All right, now full pressure, no softness. Let's clean this bitch up. Now, ideally, I would like to finish this before the session tonight, just because it was such an intense moment. But I think I can also live with having to wait for this, because I can tend to not. I will. The way it often works when I do pieces is if it has more than one figure, I can sit down for an art session and finish it, knock it out for like a good 3 hour session and complete one person in a piece. Um, and then I'll do another 2 to 3 hour session and I'll knock out the second person. And then I will do entirely to another art session entirely to do the background. Now, this is all depending on like how much my attention is really there, because if I'm working in smaller doses, um, then I will often also do the line art in a separate session and then use the fill tool. There we go. That's something I do kind of want to show you, if I may show off, of course. Allow me to pull up a piece that I want to show you. That I'm very pleased with how it came out. And I am working, and I did have a. There we go. All right. Now let me pull up Streamlabs so I can set this up. Image. Add source. Add new source instead. And then I will. Oh, I didn't need to do that. Awesome. Awesome. Now theoretically, this is a piece that I was recently working on. This is the piece that I started working on the stream, by the way. And this is how it ended up turning out. I wanted to make sure that I sort of finished it on my own, but I have shown this to my girlfriend. I wanted to share that with you here because I am particularly pleased with how this has come out. There's the transparency of it. There's like the way that I've shaded it, which is a lot better than I was expecting, given that there wasn't as much color theme to work with beyond red and black. But very, very pleased with how that came out. Extremely pleased. Remove that. There we go. All right, and now I will hop back into the actual art in a moment. That's what we're here for. All right. So that's what I ended up finishing. I want to say Saturday. Yeah, I want to say I finished that Saturday. And I sort of shut that off a little bit because sometimes it's good just to go to that one person you really feel like you can show off to, and to then do that. Just because sometimes it's okay if you're not looking for constructive criticism. It's okay to like be told that what you're doing is good, that you are making progress, that like someone you respect and admire as an artist, which for me is my girlfriend, um, to tell you that, like, yes, that is good. Um, and so that just happened to be what that kind of day was, when I finished that piece. Very, very pleased with how that came out again. Wait, did I clean that up? What I might do before the session today, before I get Mr. I'm leaning into the roleplay finally. I'm leaning into the roleplay now, to rephrase it in a better way. I'm gonna be playing some Legend of Arceus. I am very pleased with the progress that I'm making. I don't really have the patience to do some of the side quests first. It's a case of it's oftentimes a case of Commander Kamado. I believe that's his name. It's oftentimes a case of Commander Kamado can wait while I bring back the supplies I gathered, or blah blah blah. Because what's he to me, you know? Something I will know. He does consistently bring up that, like, it's okay, people aren't gonna immediately trust you, and blah blah blah. And and it does occur to me whenever he says that, nobody else is saying jack diddly about me falling from the sky anymore in a non-trusting sort of way. No one else is doing that. Just you. Speak for yourself, man. Speak for yourself. You're the only one who doesn't trust me. So, I'm having a lot of fun with that. I have kept God on my team. I think we have sort of been considering some of the others, taking their time and checking the game out, so that they can have their own play file, which fair. It's fun, but not for everyone. And also it can turn into a case of, well, will this be a fronting trigger for another person while someone's playing? Which is never something you want to actively do. Sort of set that up. That's a little bit rude. That's like that's like you're playing a video game that, like, you've been wanting to try out, and someone's like, oh, you're playing this game? Oh, and then just takes the remote control from you. Like, no, that's rude. No one wants that. um, so everyone's been kind of taking their time and sort of waiting for a day when they really feel like they want to play. Because that way, if it is a fronting trigger, it's a lot stronger of a hold that that person is going to have. In that case, in the case that it is. There we go. Now, what I will say I'm noticing is that I think in the future, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have, the skin tones be, like, lighter brain, if I could get my brain to work. So when I use the fill tool, I want the fill tool to be darker moving forward, after this piece, of course, to be darker than the line art. That way it really sort of feels like a little bit more of, like, a shaped edge. That isn't, oh yes, you can obviously see the lines. It does make it easier to hide that it's line art when it's, like, either way, but it's more effective when it is the lighter color on the outside. If that makes sense. Whew. Some water. Do not drink the brand I'm drinking. It's supposed to be not as good for you. Also doesn't taste good. But water is water, and I do not drink enough of it. There we go. So that is the shirt done. There we go. Matte pants, shading. Now we're gonna shade the pants. He was not gifted with that much of a butt. Um, I am not entirely sure how to shape that anyways. Um, so we're working with what we got. Last, we're probably gonna color in, or we're gonna shade, are gonna be the blades, just because that can be a little bit more iffy, depending on where we're at. But eh, but we will get to that last, because that is on a lower level, lower layer. I can speak. I can. Um, okay, there we go. And that is a just lighter. There's a just darker shade, which I really like. Gives a little bit more wiggle room. Little more wiggle room. Now we're gonna do that thing where we gonna try to keep most of this in it, but obviously we're gonna have to clean it up a little bit. That's alright. Not the end of the world. There we go. We're going to clean this up. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a little bit of cleanup there, but that's alright. We got this. By a little bit of cleanup, we're going to have to make sure that we're getting every little bits of detail there, just to make sure that we're not leaving anything behind. There we go. Now my head, for better or worse, is still stuck on Mike's Mike. Like, he really went off. He did not have to go off like that. But but right now I'm kind of finding myself going back and revisiting, which I have thoroughly been enjoying. Just finding the right one, because sometimes your brain's not in the right mood for like Pretty Little Liars, you know. Pretty Little Liars is a lot for like if you're not in the right mood for it, you know what I mean? But definitely sort of like looking around, seeing what's there. There we go. Let's see. Oh, I can probably make that a little bit darker. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, hell yes. There we go. Now, we're not going to put that everywhere, because we do want to make sure that we're seeing the bend in the knee, to a degree. He is sort of standing with that posture where it's not everywhere. The light's not hitting everywhere. I'll make sure we're sort of respecting that. Alright. There we go. Yeah, see, and you can still sort of see that shape. This, I do kind of like I like the color choices that I've done for the shading here. It's doing exactly what I want it to be doing. It's, where I've sort of like separated the two shadings, you can sort of see where there's that dip in the body. But now we are left with cleaning that ish up. Let's go. As always, by the way, feel free to let me know if volume needs to be adjusted. All the songs on this lo-fi are sort of differently volumed, and that means the balance might need to be remixed a little bit. And that's alright, just let me know. And I will fix that. There we go. Awesome. Oh no. Okay. Let's fix that. There we go. Thank you. Not that difficult. Come on. Alright. No. You probably have like a little wiggle room if you don't have an art tablet. Like I don't. And it gets a little messy. Probably have a little wiggle room in these areas. It's a little harder to get it cleaned up properly. You really want to make sure you are being careful. Because there we go. All right. I had a thought and then I forgot it. I am so sorry. When you have an art tablet, you probably have like less excuse to sort of work on that sort of precision. That being said, with the shades of green that I'm working with, it's a little harder to notice if I'm erasing into where that regular pant leg is. So it's very, very minute. So you don't really notice it. Thank heck. Because it can be questionable if you don't get it right. In the bigger patches, you do want to just go back and retry that again. Retry it again, where it'll be more noticeable. But that's alright. It's not something you necessarily have to do every single time. And I know that I might be able to go back on this and come back up this pant leg. But, right now, since I'm in the area, I decided I would just clean it up a little bit more than I normally might. Alright. Especially since we are getting in this territory. We are about to split off. So I'm gonna work on this leg first, and then I will hop over to the next one. There we go. Now the question is, now, oh, right, there we go. How was everyone's day, by the way? I know I'm feeling pretty good. Aforementioned D&D session tonight where we get to lean into this stuff. I'm gonna play some Legends of Arceus later. I won't tell you where in the plot that I am. On the case that I might eventually have the money for another Switch, so I can play it. Switch and a recording device, very specifically, to play it for you. By the way, absolutely bonkers that like you can't record on the Switch Lite. That's just a little bit freaking off. I don't understand that distinction. But that's alright. We'll figure it out. There we go. And now we have this leg done. Let's clean this one up. Then we'll just go up the leg, and then that will make sure that we get a very clear and clean sort of cleanup job. That being said, this is dark. Oh. There we go. Alright. Now we are just going to stop here for now. And then we match it here. It's the best way to make sure we're not missing any sort of cleanup. That we're climbing up the leg to match it. Not rushing it. There we go. There we go. Alright, and then as we can see, we are all ready at the end, we can already see the light at the end of this leg shading cleaning tunnel. Just under the knee. I'm not, I'll be real, I'm not quite sure how, uh, this leg's working, but that's alright. Not the end of the world. Um, this is not so much for art practice and improving skills so much as it is have to see it painted out. I'm just gonna take this moment, by the way, to tell you that to let you know that if you want a piece of your own in this style, that I do commissions. This and I get a lot of joy out of doing them. Um, I have on my Twitter, on our Twitter, I have my portfolio linked. I should have my portfolio linked to the Twitch channel as well. So, you know, if you're looking for that, it should be there. Um, and I hope that you consider reaching out about having something painted if you're interested. Because, frankly, if there's a moment that you would like painted, there's no one who's gonna get it the way I am. Artists are basically artists are given the great honor of being able to paint something out like this, um, that others might not be able to. When there's scenes, for example, that like you really want to see painted out, artists are given like the patience to sort of hone the skills that requires, um, that others might not really have, um, and so I consider that a blessing. Sometimes your story, you just really want that story put into physicality in some way. Physicality or visual art form, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. And it's the highest compliment someone can give to a story. Go, hey, I would like this illustrated. Um, and I am always eternally grateful when I am sort of given that sort of responsibility. Okay. So now I need to go to a darker shade of black, just to sort of notate that, like, this is where that is. There we go. Now I'll just pick like a lighter. Oh, that is way too light. There we go. That is a little bit more reasonable. That is a lot more reasonable, actually. Alright, 25 size tool, here we come. Now, with boots, it can get sometimes kind of questionable and fun. Um, and you want to make sure that you're getting it right. It's very easy to mess up the boots. So you want to make sure you're getting that. But thankfully, I don't think there's too much shading to be done here. Sorry about that. I know I nudged my microphone. Never a pleasant sound experience. Oh, there we go. There we go. And now, Now, you put that to the test over here. And then we make that tool size 10 again. And then we make this tool 10. 35, 35, 35. Okay. Oh dear. I'm seeing the tool and what it looks like at the moment, and I'm not wild about that. But that's alright. Not the end of the world. Oh no. I hate when it does this. I legitimately hate when it does this. Okay. Instant erase. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. Oh dear. We have some shenanigans. We have some shenanigans happening that are going to make this a lot more frustrating. That's alright. We got this. It's not the first time shenanigans have happened. We've just got to be patient. Now, what I might have access to and be able to play if I truly do not have the patience for this, because this happens sometimes in my art program where it's like, oh, you want the little circles? You want the little circle thing? That's a lot easier to like see what's happening under it. No. No, why would I do that? Sometimes you just don't have the patience for that, which fair. I don't. Which entirely fair response. I don't know anyone who kind of does. And I don't know what I'm doing in my art program to trigger that change. Because that does happen every once in a while, and I don't know how that is happening. And it usually happens for like a few hours, I want to say. So worst comes to worst, if I truly cannot live with this, then I will pull up a game from my thumb drive of games that I have downloaded. Pretty sure I have Sims on there, all that fun stuff. That being said, there's this game called The Test that I think I've been kind of interested in. I have seen it done, so it's not a spoiler-free experience for me. That's alright. Actually, with this in mind, I am going to give it a moment. I'm gonna be right back, and take this moment. Make sure that you take this moment to stretch, eat snacks, do whatever you need to do. Crack your knuckles, crack your crunchy back if that's what you have going on. I will be back as soon as possible. Alright. Welcome back. We should be good to go. Hope you took that time to stretch a little bit. I am going to now work on Romad's hair. And then I will go on to his weapon. Alright. So let's start with this. Alright. 90. Oh dear. Okay. Yeah. We need that darker. 3. Alright, there we go. Awesome. Alright, now we're just going to put... There we go. We want to put as much shading in this hairline, in these hair pieces that we possibly can. Now, something I struggle with as an artist sometimes is the ability to do curled hair, do different kind of hairstyles. That tends to be where I struggle the most. But it's not so bad once they sort of get started, and it's one of those things that, like, in time I know I'm gonna get better at. That being said, not an easy process. Alright. So now we're going to make that a 75% and then make that a 6. There we go. Hell? Yes. And we sort of get that shading and that dimension in the hair. It probably doesn't need to be a size 6 pen. That's alright. I'm gonna size this down again. There we go. Alright, awesome. Looking good. Alright. Now, we make this size 5 shading tool. No, that is not going to do the job. Clearly. Just ran that over something and it did nothing. Oh, are we all good now? Are we all good now? We are. Hell yes. Okay, awesome. Awesome. There we go. Sometimes just wait it out. Usually doesn't change out this quickly though. So, pleasant surprise. Alright. Now, this part of the hair gets shaded differently than the top part because of the way that his hair gradients from orange to black. I did not stretch before I got back down here. Whoops. Alright. So let's see. Yeah, we're going to pop some 90 opacity and pop it in here just so we can really feel some of that depth. It's a little bit pixelated, but that's alright. Getting into smaller territory of what that looks like. So it's going to look like that anyways. Alright, and then 45. We make that a size 10. Now this isn't fantastic. Because it does share. Because it does mean I can't see the thing. That's alright. We can work with this. Ideally, we would be able to see where these tools are. Not just a mouse. That's alright. That's alright. This is better still, so I will take it. 75 opacity. We are going to hop into size 4. Okay, there we go. And we... Alright. Oh, yes. This is going to look glorious. Hair is always a little bit tricky for me, just in general, so this, all things considered, not terrible. Not bad at all. So it adds that highlighting and still has all that character. There we go. Alright. Oh, yes. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. This is what we're looking for, folks. At least this is what I'm looking for in my style of art. And now you can really see the shape of the hair. Now, I am just going to up this tool size a little bit. Just for this. And then we... Oh no. Okay, okay. Oof. Alright. Now, you can probably see that little bit of hair, but that's not the end of the world. And plus, when we zoom out, that is not something you're gonna notice. That it's a pick and choose your battle sort of a thing. What I might do is make this tool size even bigger. Maybe turn down the softness. You can still sort of get that shape of hair. Probably don't need all that dimension. Yeah, because you can still sort of see the shapes in the hair, which is all I really need. So I'm gonna save now that because I haven't done that yet. And we're gonna do his weapon. I'm at weapon shading. Awesome. Now, this is what we're working with, okay? Let's see. Now, I can probably make this a size for shading. And then put that there. Oh dear. Okay, so I don't need to, so I don't mind as much if this is a little messier because this is not an exact. This is also not what the rapier will usually look like. This is a funky looking thing. There we go. Oh, I need to... Okay, let me clean that up real quick. There we go. Awesome. Did not clean up around this finger is all. There we go. Cleaned up now. Alright. Back to the weapon shading. And then we get like a proper, sort of really light. We put that there. We put that there. We give this an 8 size blending tool. And it will do its own thing. without needing too much cleanup. Just like that. And you still get the shape of that weapon. What are we thinking? Thinking I like it. There we go. And then awesome. We have the weapon done. We have that weapon done. Alright. Now we can move to this character, whose name is Rhea. This is a one-off member of the other band. She was the last visible member standing. There was an invisible member who was not able to be seen. So this was the only person who he could think to charge because he couldn't actually see the one who actually charged and downed a couple of his friends. Poor girl, honestly. She did not ask for this. This guy who just is taking it extremely seriously. Ooh, I think it might actually be a little bit chilly. It's all right. Now I can probably put this here. Yeah, that's good for shading there, and then there we go. Alright. And then we have that. We have the actual shading down. But what we need is, will this do the trick? We're not gonna see it very much. No, we're not. Okay, yeah. If I have to tilt my screen, that is absolutely not gonna do the trick. There we go. This will, though. Awesome. 5. You don't need too big of a blending tool here. There we go. Probably too dark of a shadow, now that I look at it. But, again, not going to be the main feature of this piece. If you catch my drift. Alright, so let's get this 8 size blending tool on top of this. There we go. Now we have her weapon. Done and painted. Alright. Rhea's skin. As always, naming it with my normal conventions of R-I-S-K-S-H for Rhea skin shading. I do have to add those qualifications of the Rhea or Romad because of the initials. That's alright. Alright. This is not great water, man. If you have the choice, do not go with Dasani. Alright. So this is a little bit more... So I can probably actually be a little bit more 90. Alright, let's see. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. Now, I admit this is not my best work in terms of, like, body shading, but I wanted to get this piece done so you at least didn't have to see the line art process. Not as pleased with, like, my line art process, as it relies heavily on the pose references. But that's alright. Not the end of the world. Alright. Now I'm gonna give her a softer... Actually, I'm gonna give her a softer jaw. So let me do that real quick, and then put this everywhere else real quick. And then make this super tiny. Get up in that nose area. There we go. Alright. And now we make it jumbo sized. Alright. Now I will come back to the 90 opacity, but that is not what we need to do right now. We need to do this with an 8 size tool. Do that. Should have softened that shit up right there. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Now we set that back to 90. There we go. And then, as always, we will do the shading for that last. The lighting, that is to say. Let's see. Let's see. Alright, so I'm gonna do the arms first. Just to get them out of the way. Before I move to smaller increments. There we go, and then... Again, sometimes the anatomy is not gonna be perfect, but all things considered, as a collective piece, this is not focused on one figure over the other. Alright. We need smaller details, and which means we are putting them here. There we go. And then we do that. We do that. We move to this hand. Not my best work, but that's alright. Sometimes you just gotta make stuff. Or you're gonna explode. And this is one of those cases. Not trying to recreate the Picasso. Pieces. Oh boy. I felt that. Okay. Okay. Now let's change this. 75 opacity. Set that to 3. Because this is about to get interesting. And then... There we go. Now this is just a natural shading. I do have a layer that I'm gonna put on top of this. It sort of recreates a sort of dreamy nightscape. So that we can have that to look at if we would like. Which I would. There we go. Alright, Now, as always, just separate the hand from the arm. We're just gonna do separate lighting. There we go. There we go. Alright. And now we go up to the face and do this. Put that there. And we go on the nose and make this a little... There we go. And now we start to blend the heck out of this. There we go. Alright. Now that we've done that's just a smaller place, so for now we will make that again smaller as needed, but for now we can do this. Up until this point, this is going to create a face shape. There we go. There we go. And then 25. Just to blend this in a little bit more. There we go. You have some face shape there. Takes a little bit of work to find it, so I'm just gonna blend that a little bit more so it's a little bit more natural. There we go. Actually, while I'm here, let me do some cleanup. I'm not thinking there's much cleanup to do, but just in case. Yeah, that's why you check. We're not gonna get lazy just because we're towards the end. That's not good. There we go. Now we have that face shaded. It's got shape, which is what we want. Now let's make this a 35 size tool. Yeah, definitely better when you can see the circle as to how big this is gonna be, but that's alright. Oh boy, okay. Okay. Around the fingers, around the fingers. It's going to be some freaking clean up. That's alright. We want to make sure we're getting this. This music is either... Oh, yeah, okay. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. Now we blend so that we are absolutely getting shape of these fingers. We want the shape of those fingers. Yeah, now we have that. Yeah, let's start cleaning this up now. Yeah, let's start cleaning this up now, because this actually went overboard. Which was not the goal. Not it. There we go. Yeah, we're gonna clean, yeah, we're cleaning this up. Oh boy. It's questionable. Alright. Now, we sort of go along the arm line. Awesome. Alright. And then we clean this up. We're gonna clean up along the arms, and then once we get to the hands, we will start blending again. Oh, Ria. Why must you be so pale? Alright. I might not even have gotten it totally correct, but it is a step in the right direction. There we go. Alright. Oh, I know this song. It's in the background of like one of RT's like almost all of RT games Minecraft streams. Just solid sound though. Alright. Oh boy, okay. We are playing with fire, man. I'm taking a break from art once we stream, but I'm definitely going to be trying to pop back into this later today if I have the brain for it. Because it's just mostly a matter at the moment of this is testing me, the tools at the moment, in a way I do not appreciate. And that's alright, sometimes that happens. I would like it to stop. There we go. Oh, okay. There we go. Alright. Okay, yeah. Thankfully with this piece I think like you don't notice it as much. If this isn't blending quite right. Then it's less likely to actually go over the lines. So I'm almost done cleaning up. There we go. Ria has arms! I do need to check something mildly important. If you will give me a moment. Alright, my girlfriend has something important to update. My polyculon. Alright. Oh, okay. My poor back. Alright. We will shade the shirt, and then I will probably stop there for today. And as long as I will remember, oh, eyes. And the mouth. No, I think that's actually pretty dang perfect the way it is. So we're gonna hop into the shirt. And go from there. Alright, now we hop into that 90% opacity. Alright, no, we need it. We need a 5. At size 5. We're going from there. There we go. Alright. And then we sort of make sure that we're sort of shading around the arm or into the arm. This layer is on top of it, but it'll be very easy to catch where it fucks up. And then, okay, so with that now, we can probably make this a little bigger. This tool size, a little bigger. Oh dear, my back. I sound like an old person. I'm only in my mid-20s. That's maddening. It is maddening that that is when, like, your body starts to decide it doesn't want to work. That is frustrating. That's alright, though. Alright, so let's set this to 75% opacity and see what color comes out. I think I actually kind of like that. There we go. And then we're going to make sure that we're getting as much of that in as possible. Alright. And now we blend, and then we clean up. Let's see what happens if we use 25. Not enough is what happens. Not enough. Let's use 35. There we go. 35 is doing what we're looking for. There we go. Yeah. Now you can sort of see the shape of that shirt. There we go. And there are some areas where I'm actually going to up the size of the tool even more. Just to make it a little smoother. And then we'll clean up from there. Alright. And from here, we're cleaning up again. And it's getting easier and easier every time, lads. Alright. Do think that to a degree, some of this is probably excusable too. Depending on where. Like, I will show you when we get there, but there is a part of this shading that I am sorely tempted to keep, and sometimes I do. Because it sort of adds the dimension and the idea of there is, like, this color shirt against pale skin. In a way that that might show up. Kind of want to add that little spot there, you know? Okay. Please make sure that you're taking care of yourself. You will feel it. I hope everyone has been having a good day as we start to wind down the stream with this last little cleanup. Hope everyone's been having a good day, that everyone's been enjoying the stream. Been enjoying the streams. Oh, fudge! Okay, we're just gonna take it little bit by little bit. That way, we're not totally losing progress when I have to go back. Like that. There we go. There we go. Alright. Alright, and then I sort of do that over here. Alright. We clean that up over here, and then I'm gonna show you where I think I'm gonna leave some of this shading. Because you might be a little surprised. Oh. Fuck. Almost. No, okay. Almost. Almost, almost. Alright, there we go. I might leave it along the sides of the arms here. I think it makes sense for some of that purple to sort of shine a little bit onto the arm. So I think I'm gonna leave that there. Let me just check the sleeve. But I think it's good. I think that's good. Alright. Um, yeah. Alright. With that, I think I am actually going to end the stream here. A few of my regular things. I hope that you've been taking care of your body, stretching, getting snacks and having water. Better water than Dasani though. If you are interested in a piece for yourself, you can just all it takes is a message from on Twitter or Instagram. Uh, on YouTube. Yes, on YouTube up here, Clockwork System, you can find these uploaded again, so that you can watch them back just to listen to in the background if that's how you enjoy these things. Instagram is Clockwork Sys, where if you want to see some of my work as I finish it, I could stand to be doing better at updating that, but I do share some of my work there, and you can message there or on Twitter, if you are interested in a commission piece for your own. And if you are interested in seeing what else some of my work has done, the Instagram and also the portfolio of some of my best pieces is linked on Twitter in our bio and should be connected to this Twitch as well. So feel free to reach out if that piques your interest at all. Uh, that being said, I hope you're having a lovely day, that you have a lovely rest of the week.